A wanted felon is dead after a 6-mile pursuit in Norman. A Ukrainian train station hit with Russian missiles has left dozens of casualties, and severe fire threats continue to affect parts of the state. OU Nightly starts now. Hello, thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Roddy.
And I'm Mecca Thompson. Tonight we begin with an investigation underway after a suspect was killed in an officer-involved shooting last night.
OU Nightly's Searles has the story from Norman City Hall.
Last night, a routine traffic stop resulted in a fatal police pursuit. Police cars lined 60th Street off of Highway 9 after a suspect was reported dead at the scene. The incident began around 9 p.m. when police tried to pull a vehicle over for a traffic stop near Alameda and 12th Avenue. Records showed that the driver of the vehicle was a wanted violent felon. When the suspect didn't stop, a 6-mile pursuit began. The pursuit stopped near 60th Avenue and Highway 9, then shots began to fire.
During the course of the pursuit, the subject was driving at a high rate of speed, at times into lanes of oncoming traffic. While traveling on State Highway 9, officers attempted multiple unsuccessful tactical vehicle interventions, or TVIs.
There were 2 other individuals inside the car. One was treated for injuries on the scene, and the other wasn't injured. The suspect was reported dead on the scene.
As officers gave commands to the occupants, the driver exited the vehicle with a firearm. The driver then pointed the firearm and fired at an officer. 4 officers returned fire at the driver, stopping his actions.
The 4 officers who discharged their weapons have been placed on routine administrative assignment pending the outcome of the investigations. The name of the suspect that died has not been released, and no police officers were injured in the incident. We'll keep you updated with any more information we get on OU Nightly's social media. Reporting live, Searles, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Dana. Ukrainian authorities are reporting dozens of casualties after 2 missiles hit a train station in Kramatorsk this morning. Officials say the Russian strike killed at least 50 people, including 5 children, and nearly 300 were injured. Local police stated that the rockets struck a temporary waiting room where hundreds of civilians were waiting for an evacuation train.
They keep shelling stations, they keep shelling trains, and they do whatever they can to stop the evacuation program of civilians.
The EU has increased pressure on Russia, with member states voting on sanctions package to ban imports of Russian coal.
Oklahoma is in another fire threat, and there's also a chance for ice in parts of the state.
Duncan is here in the studio to break it down for us.
Yeah, it's been a very windy past few days, and the winds are still pretty strong at this hour, gusting to 38 miles per hour in Elk City right now, 26 miles per hour in Norman. And notice the direction here out of the northwest. That's bringing in low humidity values, so that's why we have a red flag warning for high fire danger across western Oklahoma, and that's for the rest of today and even tomorrow. The fire weather risk will remain high. So we do have some freezing conditions likely across northern portions of Oklahoma tonight, and then a warmer weekend before the risk of severe weather arrives by next week. We'll have those details coming up in your main forecast in just a few minutes.
With severe weather approaching next week, it's important to plan ahead. OU Nightly's Peyton Gallion joins us with how students can stay safe on campus and seek shelter.
While the best place to be is in a storm shelter, not every student has that luxury. For freshmen that live in on-campus dorms, they are advised to seek shelter in the storm shelters located in Couch and Walker Towers, the basements of Dunham and Headington College, large interior rooms in Cross Village, and stairwells of Headington Hall. If students are in class when they need to seek shelter, the OU Department of Campus Safety lists on their website each individual rooms deemed safest in each campus building.
You can't really be prepared for something that you don't expect to see coming, so you need to prepare in advance and stay informed. Pay attention to days in March, April, and May when we have thunderstorms, especially severe thunderstorms in the forecast. Have a plan for that day.
Off-campus student apartments encourage students to go to the lowest level of the parking garage and interior stairwells, interior coat closets under stairwells, or if enough time allows, get to campus.
Students who are signed up for OU emergency alerts will get the latest weather updates sent to their iPhone if campus is ever threatened. And the new local business on Main Street is doing their part in helping save the planet. Resupply is a unique low-waste store all about sustainable living that doesn't break the bank. The store offers package-free products as well as shelf-stable foods in bulk and cleaning products. Customers are encouraged to bring in their own containers from home, or they can buy one there. Then they simply refill with their desired products before paying at the counter. Resupply is hoping to bring more recycling options to the community while promoting a waste-free life.
And this Sunday, students will be crowned as royalty and winning big at the Hispanic Royalty Pageant. The event is sponsored by the Hispanic American Student Association and Latino Programs and Services. Winners of the contest will be going home with not only a crown, but a scholarship as well. Students representing different Hispanic cultures will be taking the stage.
We have a range of contestants who are very talented, showcasing different features of their own culture, whether that's the Mexican culture, Guatemalan culture, whatever culture they identify with. So I think it's really important because you're able to showcase that there's more to the culture than just one specific group.
The pageant takes place at the Meacham Auditorium on Sunday at 7 p.m. and tickets are $10 at the door.
One famous actor has been banned from the Academy Awards for years to come. We'll give you the details when OU Nightly returns.
Plus, Ukrainian citizens have found refuge in a new location. We'll tell you what country is willing to lend a hand when we return.
The slap heard around the world continues as the Academy announces that Will Smith is now banned for 10 years. The decision was announced today, and the actor will no longer be allowed to attend events or programs virtually or in person. Smith responded saying he accepts and respects the Academy's decision. Despite being banned from the event, Smith can still be eligible for nominations.
And as the Russia-Ukraine crisis continues, Ukrainian refugees are seeking shelter, and a new location has been found. Bailey Coyle has that story and the rest of today's headlines from around the world.
Thanks, Bella. As the Russia-Ukraine war continues, the number of Ukrainians admitted into the U.S. at the Mexican border rapidly increases. A government recreation center at the Mexico border city of Tijuana grew to about 1,000 refugees Thursday. Tijuana has become the final stop for Ukrainians looking for refuge in the United States, as refugees think the U.S. will be a more suitable haven than Europe. U.S. officials began bringing refugees into San Diego on Wednesday. They are hoping to process 578 people a day with 24 officers. The Biden administration said it will accept up to 100,000 Ukrainians. And earlier today, the Alabama governor signed a law that bans transgender medication for youth and has criminal penalties for doctors who prescribe it. This law will put doctors in prison for up to 10 years for prescribing puberty blockers or hormonal treatment to kids under 19. He has also signed a bill into law that prohibits students from using bathrooms that don't align with their sex at birth. This comes a day after the House and Senate passed both measures. And right next door in Georgia, a Proud Boys leader pleaded guilty to 2 felony charges related to the January 6 riots. Charles Donahoe pleaded guilty to conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding and insulting an officer. He is the first in the Proud Boys leadership to plead guilty and agreed to assist in the investigation. He could face more than 7 years in prison and agreed to pay $2,000 in restoration for damage to the Capitol. In Mecca and Bella, you may see an increase in your grocery bills as food prices reach an all-time high due to the Russia-Ukraine war. Back to you.
Thanks, Bailey. And spring has officially hit OU, and if you've been on campus this week, you've probably seen the flowers blooming on the South Oval. These are called dianthus. These are the first flowers of many to come. Landscape specialist Tammy Mitchell says the flowers will reach full bloom in 3 weeks and last through graduation. Just in time for Spring Parents Weekend, Mitchell hopes the flowers will bring smiles and joy to all faces.
the reaction of the students and stuff, because the past 2 years it's been kind of sad up here, even though we still put flowers in and nobody's around. And this year everybody has managed to come by and, hey, thumbs up, thank you, can I take a picture? And everybody is excited to see it, and so are we.
And keep your eyes peeled because more flowers on the South Oval and alongside the outside of buildings are soon to come.
One event today, part of Spring Family Weekend, was a wild one. We've got the roundup on the event after the break.
And with warm weather in store, I'd say it's the perfect time to try a new activity out with your family. Josh, what's the forecast for this weekend looking like?
Yeah, it's going to be a cold start to tomorrow morning, but once we get past that, the rest of the weekend is looking very warm and mostly dry, but storm chances are on the way. Later on, we'll detail that after the break. Good evening and welcome back to OU Nightly. It's pretty nice outside right now. You can see not a cloud in the sky, a temperature of 60 degrees, so a little bit cool for this time of year, but it's very windy, a northwest wind at 25 miles per hour right now. And taking a look at the forecast for tonight, we have a freeze warning in effect across northern Oklahoma. Notice the temperatures here getting down near or below freezing, even 29 up in Miami. We should be just above freezing here in the metro, but it's going to be a close call. And then by tomorrow afternoon, much warmer, up to 80 degrees. 80s will continue for both Sunday and Monday, and the winds will remain pretty strong. You combine that with the relatively low humidity, and fire weather risks will continue across southwestern portions into central portions of the state for tomorrow. And even into next week, we're dealing with elevated fire weather for the western portions of the state. But further east, the risk will go down because of increasing Gulf moisture. Check this out. By Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, it's going to be feeling more sticky outside for the eastern half of Oklahoma. And the first chance of storms comes in late Sunday evening and into the overnight hours, but it's a pretty low chance. There might be a few isolated storms across northeastern portions of the state Sunday evening. And then as we head toward Monday, the risk shifts down to southeastern Oklahoma. Severe weather is possible. By Tuesday into Wednesday, we think much of the eastern half of the state will have another risk for severe weather, large hail, damaging winds, maybe even a few tornadoes possible by the middle portions of next week. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, again, it's a cold start to tomorrow, 36 degrees, but warming up nicely with lots of sunshine, 86 on Sunday with a chance of an evening thunderstorm. And then the rest of your forecast shows some more storm chances as we head toward Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the potential for severe weather. We'll keep you updated with OU Nightly, but for now, back to your anchors.
Thanks, Josh. It's Spring Family Weekend, and students on campus joined in on a Wild West kickoff this afternoon.
Class council and the class of 2025 took to the Adam Walker Mall for some countrified fun. Events included food trucks, line dancing lessons, and bull riding.
And for students whose parents can't make it into town, there are more activities to come.
Be sure to check out the CAC Family Weekend's Instagram for information on all the events taking place.
And that's all from us. Thanks for watching. Now it's time to head over to Big Friday Sports.
The #1 ranked OU softball team is taking on the Red Raiders, and I heard there's a lot at stake. Parker Abels and the rest of the Big Friday Sports team has the details.
That's right, ladies. Today on Big Friday Sports, the Sooners softball team hits the road, and Coach Venables speaks ahead of the upcoming spring game. Stay tuned. Big Friday Sports is next. Hello and welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Parker Abels.
And I'm Madeline Hunter. The Sooners have a big weekend on the road, so let's get right into it. The highly anticipated spring football game is right around the corner, and OU Nightly's Kari Murray is live with what Brent Venables expects for the season. Carly?
Thanks, guys. I'm live outside Owen Field, where Oklahoma head coach Brent Venables held a press conference earlier this morning about the upcoming spring game. With his OU debut only 2 weeks away, the first-time head coach is full of energy and passion for this Oklahoma football program and has high expectations for his squad. Today, he touched on how he expects his team to be successful and to live up to the University of Oklahoma football standard.
Okay, what road or we're away, what uniforms we're wearing, none of that stuff matters. Show up, okay? How we show up matters, okay? Send a message. If, we talk about this program being one of the, most tradition-rich and best programs in the history of college football, then show up with some pride on the 23rd. That's the expectations.
Says he knows the expectation inside Oklahoma Memorial Stadium and that if best is the standard, that's what his players deserve. Reporting outside of Owen Field, Carly Murray, Big Friday Sports.
Thanks, Carly. Number 1 OU softball will take their power show to Lubbock this weekend to face Texas Tech. If the Sooners can sweep the Red Raiders, they will top last season's record of 33 consecutive wins. The two teams will meet Friday at 5 p.m., Saturday at 2 p.m., and Sunday at noon. Patty Gasso spoke about the upcoming road trips.
I like the idea of going on the road. We better learn how to play tough on the road because we've got some tough road trip this weekend and another one against Texas back to back. So it's important that we get this down and we are ready to fight when we're on the road.
Now staying on the diamond, the Sooner baseball team has a huge weekend in Stillwater. This will be the Sooners' second, third, and fourth game against Oklahoma State this season after defeating them in Tulsa 7-6 on March 29th. OU is coming off an 8-2 win over another Oklahoma team, ORU, on Tuesday. Game 1 will begin at 6 p.m. today and will also play Saturday at 8 and Sunday at 3. The number 3 OU women's tennis team is hitting the road to face 2 Big 12 opponents this weekend.
They will start in Ames today against number 26 Iowa State. First serve was at 2 p.m. and the matches are still going on. Then they will head east to Morgantown to face the West Virginia Mountaineers on Sunday, and that will start at 10 a.m. Central Time. The men's team also has a couple of Big 12 opponents this weekend, but will be heading south. They will start in Lubbock tonight to face the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Then they'll travel to Waco on Sunday for a match with the number 4 ranked Baylor Bears at 1.
And OU men's and women's track and field is in Coral Gables, Florida this weekend at the Hurricane Alumni Invitational. The meet began this morning and goes through tomorrow evening. Junior Vernon Turner is coming off a huge performance at the Texas Relays, notching first place in the men's high jump at 2.3 meters and is now ranked number 1 in the country. The Sooners will have 53 athletes competing this weekend.
Coming up on Big Friday Sports, the Masters is underway and a familiar face isn't playing the way he hoped. Stay tuned as Big Friday Sports continues.
Welcome back to Big Friday Sports, and if you're in Stillwater for the Bedlam baseball game as OU takes on OSU, the first game starting tonight at 6 o'clock. Temperatures will be in the low 50s, so might need a jacket because the northwest wind will be about 10 to 15 miles per hour, so a little bit breezy, but skies will be sunny and then clear after the sun sets. So overall, not bad weather-wise for the baseball game tonight in Stillwater. Now, back to you.
Thanks, Josh. The second round of the Masters is underway, and it's not quite the return Tiger Woods expected. What do you think, Parker?
I'm just excited that he's back after 17 months, but, he hasn't been performing the way I'd hoped, but it's so exciting.
Yeah, Woods shot 4 over on the front 9 with 3 straight bogeys at 3, 4, and 5. And OU alum Abraham Answer is not having the best weekend either, currently sitting at 7 over.
And sitting atop the leaderboard is Scotty Scheffler at 4 under. With Charles Schwartzel and Shu Jae-im close behind at 3 under. 2021 champion Hideki Satsuyama is also in the mix, sitting at 2 under. The Oklahoma City Thunder traveled to LA tonight to face the short-handed Los Angeles Lakers. Both teams they only have 2 games left this season, and they'll both be looking to end it on a high note. All the All-Stars for the Lakers will be sitting out, including LeBron James and Thunder legend Russell Westbrook. Tip-off is scheduled for 9:30 p.m. at Crypto Arena.
Serena Williams lets her fans know that she is planning a tennis comeback this year at the 2022 Wimbledon Championships. Williams posted a video with Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers to her Instagram story, expressing that the two of them were discussing her return. Williams hasn't played in a tennis tournament since last year's Wimbledon, retiring in the first round due to an ankle injury. And the lawsuit from former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores is heating up. 2 more former NFL coaches joined Flores in his attempt to prove that there was racial discrimination during the team's hiring process.
Former Arizona Cardinals head coach Steve Wilks and Ray Horton, an NFL assistant since 1994 and an interviewee for the Tennessee Titans head coaching position in 2016, joined the lawsuit. With these two joining Flores, it'll be a lot harder for the NFL to avoid getting out of this mess anytime soon. And we have to end the night with this highlight by Hornets star LaMelo Ball. Check this out. LaMelo steals the ball and goes between the legs off the backboard, and Harrell slams it home. Oh my goodness, that was an unreal highlight from LaMelo Ball. And as his team is fighting for a play-in tournament seed that starts next weekend, Madeline, honestly, the NBA play-in tournament is going to be crazy. I know the Nets are competing with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. I'm just really excited to see how the Nets are going to figure this out.
Yeah, me too. And I know LeVar Ball loved that dunk for sure. You know he did.
Oh, I know. I bet he was tweeting about it. He loved that. Now, hopefully, with his other son coming back for the Chicago Bulls, maybe the Bulls have a good playoff run coming up as well.
We'll see.
We'll see. Well, I think that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Parker Abels.
And I'm Madeline Hunter. We'll be back right here next week. Good night.